Good morning, students. Today I will be discussing about acid and bases. I am Shipra Shakar Banerjee, Assistant Professor of Brainware University, deliberating the lecture on Unit 2, Chapter 1 and the course code BP104T. So first of all, we should know what is the definition of acid and base. According to an old concept, acid and bases are defined as: acid is a substance whose aqueous solution possesses the following characteristic properties, like can conduct electricity, as it is containing ions like the hydrochloric acid, H plus and Cl minus will be there, they will conduct electricity. Reacts with active metals like zinc, magnesium, etc. to give hydrogen. From the Hs, that the acid reacts with zinc like HCl plus Zn will be forming ZnCl2 plus H2. So they will produce obviously hydrogen. They turns blue litmus into red. So this is one of the important category properties. Has a sour taste whose acidic properties disappear on reaction with base. That means whenever they will be reacting with acid, the reaction will be disappearing. Now bases. Base is a substance whose aqueous solution possesses the following characteristics, like they will be also conducting electricity because they will be having ions in solution like NaOH. It's an important base, sodium hydroxide. So the ions will be Na plus OH minus. So the ions will obviously be conduct electricity. Another important criteria, the turns red litmus into blue, has a bitter taste and has a soapy touch, that means a slippery in action, whose basic properties are destroyed when reaction with acid. Same like they will be reacting with acid and their basic properties will be removed. Now there are some important theories of acid and bases. So like Arrhenius concept, Lewis acid, Bronsted-Lowry. Okay. So according to the first concept that was given arise lies the Arrhenius concept of acid and bases. Arrhenius in the year 1884 put towards a theory popularly known as the Arrhenius theory of ionization. The main idea contained in that theory was that when the electrolyte is dissolved in water, it dissociates into positive and negatively charged ion. So based on this theory, Arrhenius gave the definition of acid and bases as follows. That means they will be dissociating into water and produce positive and negative ions. So definition, according to Arrhenius concept, what will be the definition? An acid is defined as a substance which contains hydrogen and which when dissolved into water give hydrogen ions. Like substance HCl, HNO3, H2SO4 containing hydrogen when dissolved in water dissociate completely into H plus ions and the negative ions like this H plus Cl minus, HNO3, H plus NO3 minus. Such acids are called strong acids. Okay. Now, the substance like acetic acid, carbonic acid, phosphoric acid, these are also weak acid. When dissolved into water, they will also dissociate into ions to small extent. Hence, equilibrium is set up between the ions and undissociated molecules. That means there will be an equilibrium condition of the main acid molecule and the ions. Like CH3COOH, this is the acetic acid. They will be dissociating into CH3COO minus and H plus. Like phosphate, H3PO4. So they will be liberating 3 hydrogen and phosphate ion. Now, a base, according to Arrhenius, a base is defined as a substance which contains hydroxyl group and which when dissolved in water gives hydroxide ion. Like substance NaOH and KOH containing the OH groups when dissolved into water dissociate completely to give OH minus ion. Like NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, Na plus OH minus. KOH, that is K plus OH minus. Such bases are called strong bases. Like this one, substance like ammonium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, aluminum hydroxide, etc. also dissociate to small extent as follows. Ammonium hydroxide liberating ammonia ion plus hydroxyl ion. Such bases are called weak bases. Arrhenius also give the concept of neutralization. That means, according to him, neutralization may be defined as the process in which hydrogen ion given by an acid and hydroxide ion given by the base combine to form a unionized molecules of water, that is the salt and water. you know that whenever HCl and NaOH will be reacting, they will be forming a NaCl and H2. Now neutralization. It may be defined as another name, the chemical reaction between an acid and base in a solution that produces salt and water. See the reaction already I have discussed. HCl plus NaOH equals to H2O plus NaCl. So phenomena like salt hydrolysis and strength of acid bases were explained by Arrhenius' concept of acid and base. So he have also said that how much extent of salt will be there and what will be the strength of acid and bases will be discussed by the Arrhenius concept. Now limitation of Arrhenius thing. So every concept having some limitation, that's why newer theory has been derived. The acidic and basic properties of various substances were explained by only in aqueous solution. That is, dry HCl not acts as an acid. HCl is regarded as an acid only when dissolved into water and not in other solvent. That means there is some limitation. The concept does not explain the acidic and basic characteristics of substance in non-aqueous solution. That means there will be some dry solvent or dry product which will be not following the Arrhenius theory, because Arrhenius says they will be produce ions in dissociation with water. So another rules are there. The neutralization process is limited to those reactions that can occur in aqueous solution only, although reaction involving salt formation do occur in the absence of solvent also. That means according to Arrhenius, he said the neutralization will be done in the aqueous solution, but in some of the reaction the salt formation can be occurred in absence of solvent also. That means this theory doesn't suit in this neutralization theory. It can be explained that acidic characteristics of some salts like AlCl3 in aqueous solution. That means aluminum chloride will be having a HCl having an acidic type property, but why it cannot explain. Okay. So that's why we are coming to the Bronsted-Lowry concept of acid and base. So, to overcome the limitation of Arrhenius concept, Bronsted, a Danish chemist, and Lowry, an English chemist, independently and simultaneously in the year 1923 proposed a broader concept of acid and bases. So, according to his concept, an acid is defined as a substance which has the tendency to give a proton, and a base is defined as a substance which has a tendency to accept as a proton. In other words, an acid is a proton donor, whereas base is a proton acceptor. So above the equation may be explained with the help of following example. HCl plus H2O, so they will be dissociating H3O plus and Cl minus. Ammonia, they will be also dissociating ammonia plus hydroxyl ion. So they will be forming a salt, whereas HCl on reacting with the ammonia, they will be producing ammonia and chloride ion. So the following important results may be derived from this equation, like HCl and CH3COOH are acid because they donate proton of water, and ammonia and carbonated bases because they accept proton from the water. So they are also bases, but in general, ammonia and carbonate are not bases looking alike the normal bases, but as they are accepting a proton from the water, they are bases. Not only molecules but even the ions can act as acid or bases. That means some of the ion also can act as bases and acids. Next, in the first reaction, water is accepting a proton and hence is a base, and water in the second reaction, water is donating a proton, hence it is acting as an acid. Thus water acts both as an acid as well as base, and hence are called amphoteric and amphiprotic. That means water can be called amphoteric. That means both acid and base can react with water. So in the last reaction indicates the Bronsted-Lowry theory, where the acid and bases are not restricted to aqueous solution only. In this reaction, HCl is acting as acid because it gives a proton, and ammonia is a base because it accepts a proton. So advantages. Bronsted-Lowry concept is limited to the molecules, but it includes even the ionic species to act as acid or bases. It can explain the basic character of substance like sodium bicarbonate, sodium carbonate, ammonia on the basis that they are proton acceptor. It can explain the acid-base reaction in the non-aqueous medium or even in the absence of solvent. So There are another limitations like this. It cannot explain the reaction between acidic oxides like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and basic oxide like calcium oxide, barium oxide, so which take place even in the absence of solvent, like calcium oxide and sulfate reacts with both each other and produces calcium sulfate. Substances like BF3, AlCl3, etc. do not have any hydrogen, hence they cannot give proton, but they are known to behave as an acid. So these are the limitations. So that's why we are coming to the Lewis concept of acid and bases, but it will be discussed in later classes. Thank you all.